That's a hell of a way to go live.
Applause.
What was that, Beej? I can't hear you very well.
You can't hear me very well?
No,
It's a hell of a way to go live.
There we go, yeah.
I hope the internet enjoyed that.
Yeah.
Random cursing.
Yeah. That's our brand.
It's kind of shit they come to expect.
There's a better way we could do that.
Hey, welcome to, the last non-Omegathon panel at PAX.
Yeah.
Hey!
As we like to call it, the penultimate.
Yeah. PAX East is a lot. It's 4 days.
It's a lot.
4 is too. 4 is.
Yeah. You're all very brave for being here.
Yeah.
They're brave.
I
Shoutouts to you.
Yeah.
Right?
We're not saying what shouts,
Yeah.
but they're.
My slideshow works from a template, and I usually make some sort of local joke on the title screen, and I've got nothing this time.
While you're working on that. While you're working on that, happy day of trans visibility.
Yeah.
I'm really, really tired. I almost said invisibility, and I thought that there was a bunch of like flags floating around like ghosts. It's like, holy, we can't see them.
They're always with us. The whole Dunkin' thing, by the way, really confused us because we were in Chicago and they're all just Dunkin' Donuts, and I was like, I thought they did a whole rebrand. I thought there was a whole thing.
Dunkin'
and I
makes
guess
me feel
not.
good.
Maybe, yeah. It's been the worst implemented rebrand ever. Jeremy Noel from Star City Games has been helping. He's actually down at the booth right now. He's been helping us out at the booth all weekend, and he was saying that where he's from in Virginia, they like just made a brand new Dunkin' Donuts with the full Dunkin' Donuts branding. Anyway.
Dunkin' Donuts.
Wow. Hey, let's get things started. But let's take a look at this coming Tuesday's Crap Shot. How about that?
Hey.
Spoilers. Sneak preview. Please also go watch this on YouTube when it's released.
All right. Anything else?
No, thanks. Just the bill.
And how would you like to pay?
I didn't bring any cash. Could you bring the machine?
Right away, sir.
Bring the machine.
The machine.
Yes!
I hadn't seen that. That's a good one.
We've been wanting to do that one for so long.
The new schedule for production has really helped things come along.
So good.
Yeah.
Because we did a whole, I know this was streamed, maybe you saw it, maybe not, but we did this whole chat at the PAX Australia panel about, because we'd spent a lot of time dunking on weird things that were different in Australia, and then I was like, all right, now let's talk about a weird Canadian thing, which is that in restaurants, when you bring out the debit terminal or the card terminal, or they call it in Australia, the EFTPOS.
Pause.
Yeah, EFTPOS.
The electronic funds transfer point of sale.
Thank you, Beej.
Pause.
Oh, yeah.
In Canada, yeah.
I have a business degree.
In Canada, we just call it the machine, and I was like, that's weird, right? Because the waitress will just be like, "Do you want me to bring the machine?" Or like if you're sitting there, you'll be like, "Do you have the machine?" It's very ominous.
It could be anything. It's
That
like,
is weird.
Right?
Yeah.
We don't
Because it's
even
not
think
even a
about
machine. It's a device. Like, let's be honest. There's nothing really
But like
mechanical.
everyone in Canada calls it the machine.
Yeah.
It's weird.
All right. So, quick update on various things. We're going to be doing Q&A later, and if I don't mention it specifically, that doesn't mean it's dead forever. So, like, Corp Line, it's coming. Magnum Rewatch, we're talking about it. If I don't mention it, we still make Friday nights. Yes. What?
Just get on with it.
Well, exactly. So, first up, for those who are into Magic, the War of the Spark pre-release. Yes. So this isn't necessarily new information because we did announce that we were doing more pre-releases in 2019, And if you sort of figure out, well, they usually are on the Friday the week before the release, then it'll probably be on April 19th. And that is correct, April 19th at 11 a.m., twitch.tv/LoadingReadyRun. Yeah, we are very excited. Now that all the previews are coming out, I don't know if anyone's been watching all social media today.
Do we get a preview?
We do get a preview.
I
think
hope
it
it's
comes
good.
out in 4 days. Or 3 days.
Why are you talking like that?
I don't know. I just went with Alex.
You're always supposed to blow the bloody doors off.
Ah, I didn't realize we were doing a Michael Caine voice.
No, I'm doing Michael Caine. You're doing a bad Michael Caine.
If you want to find out who our wonderful guests will be for the War of the Spark pre-release, we'll be announcing that during LRMTG this Thursday at its same time of 2 p.m. Pacific. It's like the only stream that hasn't moved all over the place this week. It's good. Check your calendars if you follow our streams.
Do we have a guest list?
Yes.
It's TBA.
It's TBA.
Who's TBA? They're a streamer,
Tobias Brian Anderson.
Oh, he top-8'd.
Beloved, yes.
Tobias
When it's like
Brandon
LSV
Anderson?
and BDM, and then it's like TBA makes sense, right?
Yeah, sure.
You could slide that through and nobody would question it.
Everyone loves watching
Just
TBA.
like all the fake deck names, like Fishless Fish.
I thought that one was real.
Well, no. Fish is a deck that just doesn't have merfolk in it.
We made a joke in an episode of Friday Nights about Podless Pod, and then that literally became a real deck.
Yeah, well, they're barely jokes. We're sort of like The Onion, where it's just like, here's a headline that really happened, we give up.
Yeah.
No, this actually for real just occurred in the news. We cannot parody this.
Goodbye
it's impossible.
forever. And then someone asked me, this was a scary word, someone asked me if there was going to be an announcement about RoadQuest at the panel, and I said, oh, no. An update, maybe, but so let's talk about RoadQuest. Don't worry, I'm super excited too. So, no, there's no announcement. We still don't have a firm date, but it's going really, really, really well. I don't want to get too involved in like the literal production process of it, but because someone on one of the YouTube updates was sort of like, well, surely you have the first episode done by now. And it's like, it's not really how it works, because everything needs to be, all steps have to be done to all the episodes.
No, you film it sequentially, and then edit it sequentially, and release it sequentially.
Yeah. I mean, it sounds like how it should work, but we filmed it sequentially, we'll be releasing it sequentially, but the editing process looks more like a miasma.
Well, we also had like 5 cameras per car.
The retakes have been a bitch. You won't even be able to recognize the green screen.
Yeah.
You know, just because there's 3 of you doesn't mean you can say that kind of thing.
Can you imagine? So yeah, it's coming. I get more and more excited about it every day. I know that people hate when I say things really positively about it because they're like, but you're not showing us anything. But we're going to show you a little something today. We have a little clip. This is different from the clips we've shown at previous PAXs, and for those who worry about spoilers, which I appreciate, this could be anywhere. This could be any day of the trip. This could be any location. We've already exhaustively shown what the cars look like, so I guess close your eyes if you really care about what cars they're driving.
I mean, shit, maybe this won't even be in the show.
It's possible.
Yeah.
This, I think, probably will be, but who knows, right?
Yeah.
Like, card subject to change. So here, check out this clip from RoadQuest.
Technology, you failed me again.
Get out of my car.
I was learning which was the go pedal. This is the go, that's the brake, right?
Yep.
That's the clutch?
No, that's the parking brake.
Oh.
And that takes you to the hood.
Pop your head.
Yep, thank you.
What else can I do to help out? I'll pull this thing out for you. That's where this goes, right there. And turn the radio up real loud. We turn on to the good mix. Make it hot. High. I think this is... Oh.
You've activated the bomb.
It's Samba mode. Da 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 da. Da 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 da. Samba with me, Adam. Do the dance. Oh, that's it.
No, that's the remix.
I can't hear you, London! It leaks. Gandalf is crying, or there's a little leak. It's not that bad. It's just ever so slightly dripping onto my leg. It's fine.
There's some sort of... like, this happened? I don't know what this is from.
What did you do?
I have no idea what happened there. But, like, there's some sort of, like, scrape.
What the crap did you do, man?
I don't know, because it's some stuff
That's
here.
your side of the car.
I'm not responsible.
Take better care of your side of the damn car.
I mean, I didn't start with this. You bought the car while it had a broken door to begin with.
No, that was fine earlier. You broke it.
No!
Beej, you're lucky that I am and forever will be your friend.
Oh, well, I am actually lucky, thank you.
But when it comes time, you're going to know. You'll know what you've done.
It's like the Klingons say, revenge is the best dish sis cold. I shouldn't be allowed to drive anymore today.
It's much more eloquent in its original Klingon.
I would say so, yeah. I got it all backwards.
Cold.
Yeah. Fine.
That last shot there, which was not stock footage, also featured a little clip of the theme song by Jimmy Henson, aka Big Giant Circles. It was awesome.
We didn't use
Legit,
any
like,
footage.
every time you show a clip of that, I'm like, I don't remember any of this. It's, like, it's all a fever dream. I was like, oh.
It took me a while, but then I was like, oh, right, we stopped there. And
So, I'm trust me, I'm working real hard. Some, because people have been asking, like, why aren't you on checkpoint? What's going on? I'm like, it's because I'm working, I'm doing this thing. So,
That's also why he can't change the credits, so please shut up about
if
that.
he was on checkpoint, people would be giving you shit for not
like
working
get back
on
to
road
work
quests.
kind of thing?
Yeah, they're just like, I'm going to police every last aspect of your workflow because I paid the Patreon. I own you.
Luckily, we don't tend to experience that a lot of the time, which is really good.
You guys are great.
Yeah, awesome, and we love you.
Shoutouts to you.
Yeah. And that's all we had prepared. So it was listed as a Q&A panel.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. That's always what we do. Is we're like, all right, we'll just sort of mess around for 10, 15 minutes, and then now you have to help us make the content. So if you have any questions or topics you want us to ignore and talk about our own stuff about, there's a microphone there, and please line it up. And if anyone has difficulty getting to the microphone, give us a wave, and we'll walk it over to you.
Tell us we look tired.
Yeah. Okay, what? I got this at the Uniqlo booth at C2E2 last weekend. It's an official collab between Uniqlo and Lego. So it's like a real, it's awesome. I love it.
Are you jumping the queue?
He was waiting for people to line up. Filled time perfectly. Thank you. Hello.
Hi there. So for the calendar Commodore Hustle that you did during one of the LRLs, Why choose Bengali Solar New Year specifically? And Alex, Alex, are you aware that that Bengali Solar New Year's Eve falls on 4/13?
But that is a Homestuck joke, right?
Yeah.
Huh. Did you know that?
No.
Some old friends of Kathleen's years ago wanted to throw a party, and they were like, what should the theme of this party be? And they looked up like what holidays are around now, and they were like, oh, hey, it's Bengali Solar New Year. And so they had like 3 or 4 years running, they had a Bengali Solar New Year's party. They wrote a theme song. It was a whole thing, and that was like 10 plus years ago. And then when we were writing this thing, I can't remember exactly how it came up in the writing, but Kathleen was trying to figure something out, and I was like, hey, wait, what was that thing? What about Bengali Solar New Year? And she was like, oh, that's perfect. And so, yeah, we looked up how to make Beej say Happy Solar New Year in Bengali, which he still remembers, which is great. And
say it, monkey.
No, he did. He did already.
Shubho Naborbo show.
Yeah. So that's.
I got complimented on my pronunciation by people who speak the language.
I'm very impressed.
Me too. Didn't know I had it in me.
So yeah, that's it.
Perfect, thank you.
Cheers. Hi.
Hi. Regarding the Crisis on Infinite Spoilers episode of Commodore Hustle.
Yeah.
And by the way, for anyone who somehow still hasn't seen Infinity War, you might want to plug your ears for this.
Okay.
Yeah,
There's
okay.
like one person covering their ears, all right.
Graham.
Yeah.
You wrote that episode.
I did.
At the time, you had not seen the movie.
Correct.
How did you react when you found out that you'd basically no-scoped the final punchline before the credits with Ben?
I was like, wow. I could have been dead on if I'd like just been a little more like, I was surprised how close I was, honestly. Because all I had to go on was sort of like reasonable guesses in terms of like story structure and a couple memes I had seen and desperately not understood. Like the 0 to meme on that was very quick. And I didn't see it at the midnight release the day before opening. And so I started seeing these things pop up on Twitter, and I'm like, I don't get this. What the heck is this? And then during the writing for that episode, I was like, oh, I wonder if it's that. That's probably part of it. And the thing was, some people had seen it. Like some people in the office had seen it. And so I was like, all right, we're going to do it like this. And they were like, yeah, actually, oh, sure, yeah, because if you don't know that, okay, yeah, all right, sure. So, like, we had a big talk about it, actually, when we were like, you know, what do we actually show or not? And the people who had seen it were trying not to spoil it for the other people in the office, so they were being very cagey about, like, well, maybe not exactly that, but...
Sorry, just to get this thought that you put in my head out of it, speaking of 0 to meme, it occurs to me that with the advent of smartphones, it is now possible for someone to post a meme before they have finished watching the premiere.
Yeah, and they probably will, considering people leave comments on our YouTube videos before watching them all the time. I don't mind if we get something wrong. It's when specifically I'm thinking of Tap Tap Concede. Sorry, Magic listeners, but when we'll be like, oh yeah, it was this card, it did this. And then 15 seconds later, we're like, oh wait, no, hang on, it was this other thing. Or Paul will be like, actually, you were wrong and I looked it up and it was this. You know, like within like a span of 2 minutes. You know, and so the YouTube comment is like, actually, you're thinking of this other thing. Edit. Oh.
Thank you for joining the discourse.
Give us a window, give us a little window to correct ourselves.
Maybe get a notebook and like take some notes about what you're angry about. Really like write it down with pen and paper so you can, when you find out that we've addressed it, you can take that piece of paper and tear it into bits and then eat it.
My favorite comment of all time in that nature was the person who continued editing their comment as they worked through the video, marking it, it's like mid-video comment, blah, 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 and it's just like,
Yeah, that happened on...
Gotta get it down when you're fresh.
That was on episode 1 of Spectator Mode, and someone was like, I've watched 5 minutes.
Right.
You should interview somebody. Okay, see you later. It was like, watch 5 minutes, kind of boring. You should be you more. And also interview somebody, probably interesting. Goodbye. I was like, did you watch? You didn't watch 5 minutes. I'm done. It's like, okay.
You can delete your own comments if you want. I just, This is we're coming across way more hostile than we normally do.
Sorry. We're just like, we're gonna get you YouTube comments.
It's the shit that makes us laugh.
There's not many of them.
Yeah.
So they're
really
highly
not.
concentrated.
Yeah. Did that answer that question? Yes. Okay. Yeah. Cool.
Thank you very much.
Cheers.
Thanks.
Hi.
Hey there. I know a lot of the people that would be involved are off in other facets of life now, but lava bears?
Oh, as a dice
module or
friends.
whatnot?
That could be fun. I don't know. I mean, so the trick, of course, is that Jeremy doesn't live in town anymore, and I wouldn't want to do that without Jeremy. So.
Are you asking specifically about us developing it into a module, or are you asking about us running more of the campaign?
Well, now both.
Oh, Christ.
Okay. Jared's super busy, and I mean, we're all super busy, Graham, come on. But we would love to, right? There's been some people who have started working on sort of like fan takes on what a module would look like, and I'm talking to one of them about maybe doing something, but there's nothing set in stone there. And I don't know, maybe if Jared wanted to come visit and do like a 1 or 2 session thing, then that could be really sweet. But there are currently no plans, I guess, is the really boring response.
All right, thank you.
Yeah, cheers. Hi.
Hello. I was just curious if there was anything you guys know about have anything in the works or know anything about maybe a New Horizons pre-release? I'm sorry.
The Modern Horizons.
Modern Horizons.
Oh, yes.
Thank you.
Yes. Yeah, you were on LRMTG with James that day that Modern Horizons.
Yes. I was there.
Yes. So, we were recording Tap Tap Concede literally while the announcement was happening, and so we were like, all this stuff's happening, and then I saw on Twitter, because I get the notifications for the Loading Ready Run Twitter account, so it was like Patrick Jarrett liked your tweet announcing this, and I was like, did we? Okay, if our boss in that regard from WotC liked a tweet where we said that we're doing a Modern Horizons pre-release, then I guess we're doing one. So yes, we are doing a Modern Horizons PPR, yeah. Just wanted to make sure that we weren't going to mess anything up there. Yeah, exactly, yeah.
Hi.
Hi.
As someone that found the crew when I started Magic with Gatecrash, who found Desert Bus, like a random old game that never got released? Who was the first one to play it and then decide, hey, this will be great to do something for charity with?
It was a combination of James and Paul doing different things. James wanted to do something for Child's Play. No idea what. He was like, hey, PA started Child's Play, and it's this thing, and they're funny video game jokey people, and they have this charity, and we're funny video game jokey people, so we should do something for that charity. And then totally separately, Paul found an article on waxy.org, I think, talking about Frank Cifaldi, who had found the review copy of Penn and Teller Smoke and Mirrors that had Desert Bus on it, and he was like, hey, check out this stupid Desert Bus game. We should do something with this, where we were just gonna be like, we should live stream a marathon play session of us getting real tired.
Man, remember when that made us funnier?
Well, and we did that sleep dep experiment.
Yeah, that was a year prior. And so
Yeah.
Paul was like, this could be like Sleep Dep Experiment 2. And then before we did either of those things, we were like, wait, but chocolate and peanut butter. And that was how it happened.
All right, cool. Thank you.
Cheers.
So less so a question and more so a thank you, because you guys are nothing but a positivity and taking in terms of self-care and help and stuff like that. I remember actually 3 years ago, Alex, you held a stream after certain events happened, and it was really like helpful and stuff for a lot of people in the community. So just thank you in general. Actual question though, what is your own personal form of media that you like to consume, whether art in form of looking at art in terms of like drawing or video or literature? Do you have a preference generally?
Sorry, is this in context of just like for our own personal enjoyment?
Yes, for your own personal enjoyment. I know it's kind of a deep question because there's not necessarily a perfect thing that someone wants to look at all the time.
Big titty anime. I'm buying you time. Think. I mean, in general, like
You're not even joking.
I'm not really
he's
joking.
not. It's like, I spent 10 days of my life in a car with Beej. Nothing surprises me anymore.
You emerged a changed man.
Yeah.
I think the one advantage of being on the same road trip is that you don't come into the office every day and it's just like, I read this new manga. It's about schoolgirls in space, and one of them's a toaster.
Oh yeah.
And she's like really insecure about being a toaster, and you know she browns the bread too quickly. And
this is fantastic.
Anyway.
Yeah.
Were you gonna make one up, or are you just gonna keep picking real ones?
Yeah.
I guess I should answer this question.
Sure.
Comics a little bit, but I have such a hard time answering questions in like broad strokes because I can't. I mean, for a perfect example, I can't answer the question, "Do you like anime anymore?"
Yeah.
Because is it or so a variety of like animation, TV stuff. Like I tend to dredge up old stuff that I've already seen, and when I get a chance to share with people, or actually what I've been rewatching recently, sort of half as research for my own comic, is a series. I think it's from the BBC called Danger UXB. It's about bomb disposal technicians during the Blitz in London. It's really good.
And it's a scripted drama, right?
Yeah, it's a costume thing. After the Germans bombed London, not all of them went off, and these crews of British engineers with virtually no training had to dig them up, figure out how they worked, and disarm them.
Oh yeah. So
It's such a good thriller.
I watched the first episode a couple of years ago, actually, based on your recommendation, and I think earlier this week I finally unclenched.
Yeah, I know. You never forget that first episode.
Yeah.
What is it called again?
Danger UXB.
I read a lot.
You read a lot.
Yeah, I read a lot of books.
Yeah.
I just finished The Tethered Mage by Marla Caruso. I don't know if that's her first name, but it was very good. And it's a trilogy, and it has a badass female lead, and it was really good.
Sweet.
Yeah.
I watch visual media, like either comedy or unscripted stuff. Like I've been watching a lot of, does anyone watch Gourmet Makes on Bon Appetit? This is a YouTube channel. It's, she's like a pastry chef, and it's like, so she'll be like, all right, I'm gonna make a Reese's peanut butter cup from scratch. Yeah,
You should tell them about the model channel.
About which?
The model channel.
Oh, Luke Towan. I'm not sure how to say his name. He's Australian. He makes miniatures. And the videos are like half an hour long. And it's like, here's this extravagant build. And I'm going to go really detailed on a bunch of different steps of this process of how I made this astonishing looking miniature. And it's just like, oh, yeah, this is nice. It's just really zoning out content.
Cool.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Cheers.
Yo. So, over your years of all of your sketches, what is your most memorable characters?
That we personally played?
That each of you have, over the years, your most memorable character you have done in a sketch.
My throat remembers Kane.
Or rather, Crowthorn. Yeah.
Yeah, right. I know.
I had a 50% chance there.
Yeah.
I'm like not in a lot of them, but I'm very much enjoying playing Friday Nights Adam because he's not quite Adam, not like real life Adam.
Adam Plus.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun.
It's fun writing for that character now too, because it's been a while since we've had someone on that show that's able to be like, I'm surrounded by idiots.
I never get to play the straight man to Graham.
Yeah.
So now I'm the straight man, which is bizarre.
I mean, I don't know. For me, it's probably Dave Spokesman.
Oh, yeah.
I just love that, doing that stupid voice. Yeah. Thank you.
I like playing my character on Hustle.
Yeah.
I love your character on Hustle.
Yeah. My character on Hustle is so good.
Your character on Hustle is like an alien barely pretending to be human.
Yeah. It's I love playing Greg when we get a chance to do a Greg trap shot. Those are a lot of fun, but I love playing me on Hustle just with this sense of like, well, this is a thinly fictionalized version of myself, right? Not anymore, it isn't. That dial goes to 11, and I'm going to break it right off. I got to chew the scenery so bad. We have takes from the last Hustle when I was in the VR suit where I was chewing the scenery so bad that we couldn't use it, I think, because they would be too unbelievable. Like I was getting vicious. It was so good.
Can we end the show if we ever have to by like your face opening up and a smaller Beej hopping out and with like a lunch pail? It's like, whew, hard day. Roll credits.
It's a living.
There's exactly 2 levers inside and a fan.
Someday, yeah.
There's a big titty anime lever.
Yeah.
Wow.
Okay, thank you.
All right.
There you go. Hi.
Hey. So, y'all make some what could be described as niche content.
Correct. I think most of it's fairly niche content, yeah.
And in particular, Beej, you've been the podcast friend a lot recently, so you've gotten to experience a lot of stuff that you're not really interested in, but that you get to learn a little bit about.
Yes.
So my question is, either from being a podcast friend or doing some editing, what's the most interesting thing you've learned or sort of acquired for yourself from learning about weird stuff that other people make content about?
Hearing people talk for 45 minutes about a new mulligan is simultaneously, it is the most boring and crazy interesting to hear this, like the analysis, like it's the levels to which anybody can go deep on a subject is great. And like getting to tech for Sidewalk Slam is the same way. Getting to hear you guys talk about how wrestling proceeds and then like learning about, like, it's like, oh, well, in the story, X happens, but out of the story, this is happening because of Y reasons. And it's like, oh, that's also interesting to learn, like to get kind of the whole basis. And I think nerds are just really, like, I think any nerd is just really good at being able to extract that.
You know what it is? I think, nerd fandom writ large is kind of about finding the granularity in any kind of field.
Yeah.
And there's a few fields that are popular, but I mean, there is granularity in everything. And what I find really fun about that sort of thing is that when you dip your toe into a field that you're not familiar with, you find out that there's certain things that are similar. Like every field has its own lingo. Mm-hmm. Every field has its own like jokes that everybody tells, and every field has its little like bizarre arcane details and so forth. So.
Is this oh, good. Thank you for noticing. I was going to ask if this mic was on, because I was like, wait, I can just sit instead of bending over. So, yeah.
Oh, I learned actually editing the vlog. When I started learning how to edit.
Oh, yeah.
James Turner.
Oh, yeah.
Every time he cuts, starts a new vlog recording, he covers his nose. I don't know why. It was one of the weird things I found out about him.
Really? Just like...
But yeah, he just
like that?
he does that. Huh. Holding the camera. So James, if you're watching, I've just outed you to the entire.
How many of those? So you just trimmed all those out?
Yeah,
Right?
I trimmed them all out.
Made one super cut of what?
Super cut of James.
James touching his face.
No sound, like.
Yeah, just put it in black and white, and then just like slowly track in with like Hurt playing.
Yeah.
The man wishes to scream.
Yeah. I hope that answer. That was something weird. I just remember noticing. I was like, hey, covers.
Bonus. Yeah. Hey.
This is going towards your announcement about changing the stream schedule and some
Yeah.
things going away. It reminded me of when you guys shifted away from those long-form sketch videos that you did on Escapist and moved into more content that was just as funny. So my question is, how do you know when to shelve something and to move on? Kind of thing. It's like, because you work on it and it's.
I wouldn't say that we always know exactly when to do that. Like,
yeah, I wouldn't say that we've necessarily been, been amazing at that necessarily. But so here's the thing: because the vast majority of our income and ability to do everything that we do comes directly from people like yourselves, probably like many of you explicitly, like the people in this room or the people watching online. Because of that, it's actually impossible to look at any given thing that we do and go, this is a success monetarily, right? Like we can't look at tap concede. Yeah. We can't look at that and go, okay, this costs us this much to produce and it generates this much revenue. It's impossible. So the way that we do things is like if people seem to be enjoying it, and if we are enjoying making it, and there's, or if it does happen to be generating stuff, TapTap was a bad example because like we have a sponsor for that one. But anyway,
whoops.
Then we're like, well, okay, well, I guess as long as everyone's keen to do it, then we keep doing it. But like for example, for the sketches, it was sort of like we're doing so many different things, and the sketches are the biggest pain to do. We like them, we like doing them, like we liked Feed Dump, but by the end of Feed Dump, it was like, we aren't enjoying making it as much as we did originally. And so it's like, well, maybe we should not do that and do something else instead. And so, yeah, it's basically when we feel that it's reached its end creatively, when we're checked out of it, essentially.
And plus, Feed Dump died, and we got the panelists instead, and that show rules.
Part of the part of that too is if you go back to the beginning of the year, look for Graham's YouTube update he did at the top of the year. We mentioned that one of the big pushes we want to do for this year was the Get to 80% initiative, where we were reevaluating stuff we were doing, which is why things were changing and things are continually changing. The streaming is changing. The amount of lives we do in a year has changed. Those kind of things, because we have recognized that we do so much. And the aim is to get to a point where we are comfortable operating at a certain level, and then we know that if we want to do something like RoadQuest, or if a big project comes along from an external entity and they're like, we'd love to have you be involved with this, and they're like, we think that'd be a lot of fun for us and for you guys. When things like that happen, if we don't have capacity for it, we have to keep saying no to stuff like that. And that's also part of why we were making these changes, is so that we don't get burnt out, so that we can continue to make the content sustainably, so that everybody gets an opportunity in the organization to do more stuff, like learning how to edit more and doing those kind of things and moving that work around a bit, and then getting to a point where we're like, okay, what's going to be our big thing this year? Do we know what that's going to be? Or can we take on doing more conventions like this? Or that kind of thing. And that's how I would say go back and watch that and you'll get a sense of that mindset. And that's what we're really shooting for this year is.
Yeah, building in Slack.
Essentially, yeah.
So that ideally, if I need to be really deep in doing something like editing RoadQuest, I don't have to stop being on Checkpoint and Magic and watch and play to do it.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Or if one of us gets sick, or if one of us gets injured, or if we have a family member that passes away and we need to be away for a week or something like that. Like, God forbid those things, but the whole what happens when so-and-so gets hit by a bus thing has become very clear that that's very important. And as part of mitigating risk within the troop, that's something we really want to do, is make sure that people are able to, you know, ebb and flow a little bit.
Don't worry, a BC Transit bus would never go fast enough to be legal.
Ow!
I should probably, I guess I also should probably say that, for anyone who's not aware, I am the new full-time business manager for LoadingReadyRun.
I was gonna ask if you wanted to mention that.
Yeah, because, I mean, you can take this seriously. But that's why I'm talking the lingo the way I am, is because I have an eye on this stuff now, so, yeah.
I'm glad you're aboard.
Thank you very much. I'm glad I am too.
Thank you very much.
Cheers. Hi.
I just want to say thank you all for all the laughs and the fun over all these years. It's been really great to, you know, see all the series and the crapshoots and the sketches, and really helpful through hard times. But I have a really serious question here about Beej. Are you a necromancer?
I'm not a necromancer. Everyone keeps asking, and I'm not a necromancer.
I'm sorry for barely containing a snort there, but it was the I have a really serious question about Beej, and I was like, there's no way this is a serious question. I'm sorry if anyone coming up does have one. Hi.
Hi. I'm wondering if, so Bandland has been my favorite D&D campaign I've ever watched. Like, it's been absolutely amazing.
Thank you.
And I was wondering if since Kathleen already has so many notes, if she's going to turn it into a module to publish. Because I would love to run a campaign in that setting.
So she's, I believe what she said, and I don't want to put words in her mouth, but I believe what I heard her say out loud on stream was that she definitely, turning into a module is maybe like too far of a step, but she certainly is going to look for a way to tidy and collate the notes that she has, which is, it's like a novella. Like, it's like, she tweeted it was like 32,000 words or something. It's just unreal. That she's going to look for a way to make that available as a resource that you could use to do sort of things. Because, you know, she was talking about, like, you know, why it wouldn't have to be necessarily these 4 people. You could play, you know, through these events as, like, Vogos, for example, and see what happens there. So she's looking into doing something when there's time.
And is there any word on what the next Dice Friends campaign is going to be?
Not yet, but we have several balls in the air in that regard, and so we're going to... Not yours.
Not even necessarily like D&D specifically. Like, we love working with D&D and being on their channel. Mm-hmm. But Dice Friends is meant to be more of an open RPG thing as well. So
yeah, that's why we didn't call it anything D&D specifically.
Yeah.
I guess, like, what?
We probably don't have space for it, but what if we did a LARP?
Oh, God. With boffer sticks?
I don't know how...
I'm not putting us on the hook to do that.
No.
Okay. Okay. But yeah, we have... like I said, several things that we're looking at right now, and very soon I hope that those will slot into place and we'll have a better view of the coming months for Dice Friends.
Right. Thank you.
Cheers. Hello.
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 Sorry.
Hi.
Getting used to the mic.
It's okay.
I just want to thank you folks. You've been the background noise for my boring retail job, my boring custodial job, and now that I'm working a corporate job. It's what gets me through the day.
It does sound like you're moving up, though.
Yeah, no. I'm also getting old, so.
We all are. That's okay, everybody is.
Sorry.
Yeah.
So the more serious question.
All right.
Constable Horse Nixon, when will he return?
See, this is a serious question. You can't. Constable Horse Nixon.
I know Feed Dump is dead.
Right.
And the panelist is great.
Was that a two-off, a one-off?
That was like Andy did it the one time, and I swear he did it like one more time. So it might have been twice.
Correct me if I'm misremembering, because we do produce a lot of stuff. This was Andy wearing the horse head, just going, "I'm not a crook." That was it, right? That was the whole bit? Okay.
In history, when I was in college, my big study was like the Nixon administration era. So that, like, I laughed my ass off.
Great.
I showed all my friends.
Well, the Watergate allegations are ridiculous. I am not a crook.
Yeah.
You got any hay?
Somebody get Agnew to comb my mane.
The intersection's so good in those voices, right?
What?
The intersection is so good in those voices. Like,
It's
you know,
really good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We can't pull out of Vietnam. We need sacrifice.
Oh,
Sacrifice.
God.
Anytime Andy is available, we try to get him involved, and I'll probably never be able to forget Constable Horse Nixon, so I'll bear it in mind.
Well, I appreciate you all you do.
Thank you.
I gave myself a headache.
Yeah, you can't sustain that voice for long. Hi.
Hi, I loved Escape from Smolo Plateau and Dragon's Orders. Is there a part 3? Has Dale been planning a follow-up?
We have several balls in the air.
Fantastic.
And soon we will know what the next several months look like.
Thank you.
Cheers. We're going to also, because it's 1:15, and we've got 5 people left in the thing. Okay, we'll cap the line, because no one else has stood up. So we'll say these 5 people, because then I've got one more little clip to show.
I have like a small thing and a medium thing. One, that manga about the girl in space who's a toaster, is that real?
No. She's a toaster oven,
though, didn't it?
She's a toaster oven, and her name is Black & Decker. It is real. We just made it up, didn't we?
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah, everything's made up.
What was the other thing?
Sorry, yeah, the medium thing.
Oh, it doesn't have to be lure related, but if you were to get a tattoo, what do you think it would be?
Adam Savidan.
Adam, if you were to get...
Oh, that's good.
If you were to get a tattoo, Adam...
Any tattoo?
I think it looks something like this.
Adam's the only one up here that has a tattoo.
Yeah. I'm
Unless you
kind
guys
of checked out on tattoos. I'm done. I don't think I'm going to get any more, but maybe I'd get a
Vince?
I was going to say a small toaster anime girl. But
Vince McMahon that's just so big.
So big.
It's just the creature from the end of Akira, but with Vince's face on it.
He's so big. So vascular.
I've never seen Akira.
Thanks, I hate it.
Okay.
I've thought about tattoos, but the problem is that, like, despite being an artist, I'm really fussy.
Yep.
And I think I would have a really hard time committing to something that I would have to design it. It would have to be meaningful to me, and I would have to never get sick of it.
It's a big commitment. Yeah.
And a lot of people say that you really do that for your first one, and then you're like, oh, this doesn't matter, and then this happens.
Holy shit!
I am implying that you conquered your fear of uncertainty.
Yeah. I just didn't think about it. I mean, there was nothing like scientific about what I got done. I was like, I'm going to do this, and then all of a sudden I had this, and that was
Give me one of those.
Yeah, I'll take one of those, please.
My body is a temple.
Hell yeah, it is, brother.
The real thing is I'm afraid of needles, and I will not go anywhere near it.
Yeah. I've thought about, it's actually, I know that at least one person out there actually has literally this, which is the Loading Ready Run logo, like, whoop, on the forearm. And I was like, oh yeah, I could do that. Yeah. It's the only thing that I've considered isn't even the right word, because I've never actually considered it. It was just sort of like, oh yeah, I could totally do that. I could see me getting that. Never been a pressing need for it. But that's what I would get if I was going to, I guess.
Thank you guys so much.
Cheers. Hello.
Hello, hello.
Hi.
I was curious. I know you guys are busy with like a billion things on any given week. Have you guys ever thought about making a movie?
When?
Well, we kind of did.
I mean, we've got 12 45-ish episodes coming out, so like a mini series is a lot longer than a movie.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. I mean, like it's certainly to say that had never been thrown around in brainstorming would be a lie, but it's always been sort of like, but of what? You know, it's got to be something. It couldn't just be like a really long episode of Commodore Hustle, because then it's like, yeah.
And the vagaries of production would also mean that for like several months, nothing would be produced other than we'd be working on this movie.
We'd have to make it really good.
Oh, you know what the worst part would be?
What?
Hair continuity. Because you can't just not get a haircut. You have to get little haircuts.
Yeah.
Teeny tiny haircuts.
Teeny tiny haircuts.
Or everybody wears hats.
We'll get the Beej we'll get the pilot out to give us teeny haircuts. The tiny Beej that lives in Beej's face.
I was like, what the fuck are you talking about?
The tiny man that lives inside Beej.
And drives him to work every day.
The man that pilots Beej.
2 levers, haircuts.
Yeah.
Big titty anime.
Big titty anime.
Yes, the 2 genders.
Oh, wow.
Thank you.
Yeah, cheers.
Thanks.
Hey, what's up?
Hello. A little bit ago you said Dice Friends wasn't D&D specific.
Mhm.
So what's the over-under on Shadowrun?
Oh. I mean, to be clear, like we've already done, we had Cam's personal like sort of world that he created, and we've done.
We did the Call of Cthulhu 2-shot. We've done Fate a couple of times.
Yeah, that was it. We've done a couple of times of Fate. Yeah, that was So we have done not D&D stuff. So Shadowruns, I guess, as likely as anything else.
When we were brainstorming this as a stream, that we're like, okay, and D&D, and then like, well, we could do anything, and then like Shadowrun was one of the things that was called out by somebody, probably Cam, but it was. That's the thing, is it's like, yeah, there's room for that as long as we could find a DM that we trust to work within the framework of how Dice Friends works. Because Dice Friends is not put your campaign online. You know, like it's not just film the campaign. It's film a campaign that is structured to work as a series.
It's a performance.
And it's a performance as much as anything else. I mean, we're not up there being like, this is all fake. Of course it's all fake. It's all make-believe, but...
What?
Anyway.
Thank you.
I want to play Paranoia at some point, so that's me. But
Hi.
yeah.
Hello. First, Beej, congrats on your full-time business manager role.
Thank you very much.
And that kind of brings me into this question. With the characters you played, essentially some fictionalized versions of yourself in Hustle and Friday Nights, and even your kind of an on-stream persona. Has you ever run into anybody who just had a hard time separating what they see on the screen or from the real you?
They are all over the YouTube comments.
Yeah.
If you like, the crap shot comments are amazing. People be like, well, why is Graham doing that to so-and-so? And it's like, it's not Graham, is it?
We usually try, when we're doing crap shots where we're not playing ourselves, we usually try really explicitly to get a name said out loud that's not one of our names as like a flag of like, hey, this isn't us. This is just us playing characters. But yeah, I mean, we definitely, usually, by the way, vast majority of the time, it's totally harmless, and it's often related to Friday Nights, and sort of like, oh, well, you always play decks like this. And it's like, well, that's how I'm scripted. So I don't always only play decks like that. Like, generally speaking, because we are more fully fleshed out characters than the literal characters in Friday Nights, people are sort of like, okay, well, so Kathleen always plays Demir. Kathleen loves playing blue and black, but she doesn't always play Demir. And so, like, someone will, like, see her at a GP and she'll be like, will have drafted a red deck, and they'll be like, what? And it's like,
yeah, I had the same thing with because we did an episode where I played goblins, and it's like, what am I playing now? Golgari aggro.
Yeah. It's like, what? But Alex, I thought he was always, no, you can play more than one color. So, again, generally, I would say, and maybe your experiences are different, so please correct me, but generally speaking, I would say it's mostly related to the Magic stuff and mostly harmless. Yeah. But definitely sort of like, oh, but I thought you were this way. Like, no.
Yeah, I mean, we've yet to have somebody pipe us for saying, you're breaking kayfabe.
True, that's true. All right, we got 5 minutes left. We can do one more question and still show the clip.
Hello.
Hello. Hi.
So we all know and love Adam's Vince impression.
We do.
And
it's so good.
Yes. And we all know that there's also 36 Planeswalkers coming out in the next set.
Ah.
So Adam Vincent McMahon reviews the Planeswalkers of War of the Spark.
Oh my God. 2 Planeswalkers start on the battlefield. Yeah. At regular intervals, another Planeswalker enters.
I was
you get eliminated.
thinking exactly that.
Yeah.
Who's coming in at 32? It's Arlen Core!
Who totally just has Ember Moon's entrance. It's just,
Yeah. Literally just Ember.
We're just getting real into the weeds there. That could be kind of funny.
I mean,
you need a lot of throat lozenges.
I feel like it would be that kind of thing that's funny for the first couple.
Yeah.
And then it would just be like, he sounds like Nappa from Dragon Ball Abridged, which I get a lot of people say it sounds like Nappa from Dragon Ball Abridged.
Tell you what if you just cut one promo about War of the Spark?
Yeah, well,
just get some highlights.
I got to do that a little bit when we did the Card Kingdom promos.
That was cool. We did, for anyone who hasn't seen this, Card Kingdom did a series of ads. I assume they're on their YouTube channel, where they were promos for the decks they were doing, the battle decks, and they were wrestling style promos.
And I got to cut it. I was cutting one for Lord Windgrace, and I got to be Paul Heyman. And that was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
So I could do something like that for War of the Spark, maybe. Yeah, I could see it. Yeah, maybe they'll ask us to do it again. Card Kingdom.
I don't know if you're in the chat.
Yeah, if you're watching.
We got 3 minutes.
All right, well then let's...
Thank you for your question, too.
Thank you for your question.
Yeah, thanks.
Let's finish off by saying thank you so much for coming and for all of your support and for being great. And after this, we're going to go back down to our booth, which will be open for the next half hour until the show closes. And let's finish up with this, with this additional clip from some episode of Road Quest.
Hey! We could sing. 99 bottles of beer on the wall. 99 bottles of beer. You take one down, pass it around. 98 bottles of beer on the wall. 98 bottles of beer on the wall. 98 bottles of beer. You take one down, pass it around. 97 bottles of beer on the wall.
97 bottles of beer on the wall. 97 bottles of beer. You take one down, pass it around. 96 bottles of beer on the wall. Over.
I heard myself today. Feel 95 bottles of beer on the wall, 95 bottles of beer on the wall, 95 bottles of beer. I can't hear you, London. 93 bottles of beer on the wall, 93 bottles of beer on the wall, 93 bottles of beer.
Can we vote them off the island or something?
Got my vote.
Sorry, James and Ben, you are the weakest link. Goodbye.
Well, if we have to go out, I just want to thank one very important person in our life. The 92nd bottle of beer on the wall, 92 bottles of beer. You take one down, pass it around, 92 bottles of beer on the wall. Then we leave and we come back with 51.
Yeah, exactly. You can just edit around that.
Yeah.
Yeah. But don't put this part in.
Yeah.
Because then they'll know that we think that.
Yeah, that we're lying.
Yeah. I can't deal with the internet knowing that I'm a liar.
There's more. more to this bit.
52 bottles of beer on the wall, 52 bottles of beer on the wall, 52 bottles of beer. You take one down, pass it around, 51 bottles of beer on the wall.
I'm gonna jump out of my car.
I'm disappointed you aren't more impressed with how far we've gone.
I mean, I'll check the tape later, but I don't think you've been counting on down there.
Are you familiar with the pin maneuver?
Thank you for coming.
Turner is a liar.
Yeah.
Because you were all, I mean, that's it. But because you were all laughing so hard at the end, the last thing Alex says there is, Beej, are you familiar with the pit maneuver? All right. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.